Hey everyone and welcome back. So just doing a very quick pickups video today. I only have a couple things to show, but two of them actually are pretty major. I think I've alluded before that I have made a couple of very large purchases recently for work. Now I did offset it because I was selling a lot of older like camera gear and older computer equipment and everything. So actually a lot of the cost sort of not quite evened out, but is sort of enough. So out of the two big ones, one of the things is I did get the new Sony 50mm GM lens, and this has an aperture of f1.2. So just for those of you who may not know, your aperture mainly does two things. One is it reflects how much light you're letting in. So the lower the number, the more light, the less light it needs in order to form an image. So for example, this being an f1.2, you're able to get an image in very little light. You still need light, but you need a lot less of it. And it also affects the depth of field. Now, depth of field is basically what is in focus and what is out of focus, and that sort of gets smaller and smaller the lower the aperture. So for example, a lot of the videos that I do, I use a 35mm lens with an aperture of f1.4. That's why, luckily, because the autofocus is really good, I'm in focus, my background is sort of blurry. Now with the f1.2, obviously you can go a little bit more, but your focus is also going to change. It's going to be a little bit tighter. I was doing some tests earlier, which you can see here. So you can see that I didn't move the camera, so it's a little, obviously it's 50 versus the 35 that I normally use, so it's a little bit tighter. And I did not make any other changes outside of the aperture, so that's why it's a little bit more blown out than it is, but you can see how much I'm in focus versus how out of focus the background. And I use 50mm a lot when I'm doing a lot of portrait shots, usually 50 and 85. Those are my two favorite ones for photography. But when I'm doing video interviews, for example, for clients, 50 is my favorite. And the lower aperture just gives me options depending on what it is I'm filming. I'm a big fan of sort of that shallow depth of field, so having that 1.2 option is actually a really big deal. And this is a massive investment, but I'm very happy I was able to make it. And again, it sold off a lot of old camera gear to help pay for it too. So, and also sold a lot of old computer equipment that I was no longer using, and it actually helped quite a bit. And I got something I've been wanting to get for a long time, and that is actually the new iPad Pro, which if I open it up here, you can kind of see there it is right there. There's the main screen. And the nice thing about it was, so the iPad itself, I paid for, was able to finance it at least, so I have a little bit of breathing room. But basically the case, and I did also get the Magic Keyboard and obviously the Apple Pencil. But with I traded in a lot of old Apple laptops that I was no longer using, and some of them were really old. And I was actually surprised with the trade-in value because basically I didn't have to pay for my Magic Keyboard, Apple Pencil, or the case. I know there have been some rumblings because the iPad Pro is sort of like overpowered compared to what is being offered as far as like stuff you can use. I have a feeling down the line there's actually going to be some Pro applications that will come out eventually for it, but on the off chance it doesn't, that would suck because that would really definitely help a lot. But the thing is, my old iPad I've had it for 7 years or almost 7 years. So it's like I was going to upgrade eventually, and I was like, you know what? If I get one of the top of the line ones, and it's like, hopefully it lasts me another 7 years. And so far I've been absolutely loving it. So now that the tech stuff is out of the way, let's get into some of the movie stuff. So first up, which I'm sure will surprise none of you, but I did actually get the new Fright Rags Escape from New York hat. I'm sure for those of you who saw that it was up for sale, yes, I grabbed it immediately. Actually, I have two, believe it or not. One is going to be back here with my other hats, which, by the way, this thing was not planned. I got a couple of hats and just had them back here. I'd shoot a video and they're like, yeah, I just got this in and put it back here and just kind of left them. And now I actually kind of like having all the hats back here. So I'm going to add this one to the lineup back here. And I got another one that I could actually wear. And as you can see underneath there's an image of a snake. This was one of the covers. I think one of the DVDs had that as a cover. Very cool image. And obviously I just love the simplicity of the hat. And I love how this sort of pops the title. I just love the hats from Fright Rags. Next up, I have only gotten in one movie, but it's a good one, and that is Joe Dante's Explorers. And there's the Shout Select slipcover front, and there is the back. And I did flip the inside to show the original poster artwork. And I did grab this during one of the Amazon sale that they were having like a week or two ago, where several like Shout Factory titles were like really on sale at like a good price. And then finally in this box right here, making sure I don't dox myself, I ordered some more stuff from Homemade Horror. Some of you may remember that I've gotten two things from them. I actually got a little figurine from the gate of one of the little creatures, and also got that Evil Dead cabin ornament that I have in front of my Evil Dead copy. And they had a sale of some of their like smaller like magnet ornament things, and so I grabbed a couple. And the nice thing about it, which I didn't realize initially, is that you could actually just pick which one you want. So you pick the design, and basically he's either attaching a hook for an ornament or just to put in a magnet on the back, which I really, really like. So I did a little bit of a mix. So first up, as a magnet, you can see I have the mask from Demons right there. So with the magnet, I can attach that to anything metal, obviously. Another magnet I got, which is really, really cool, and that is Jason's mask from Part 5. Look at that. I mean, that just looks so great. Absolutely love that. Next up, I went with an ornament option for this because I think I'm going to display it with like the video copy, but I was like, I probably should have made it a magnet as well. And that is the pod from The Fly. And I don't know, I hope you can see that okay. There's actually a little picture of Jeff Goldblum there on the inside. So again, kind of wish I went with a magnet, but it's still okay because I'm just going to lean this against the box. And then finally, I got two of these, one as an ornament, one as a magnet. So they look exactly the same. And I'm sure it will surprise no one because when I saw it, like, I'm definitely getting that. And that is this Creepshow magnet, which is so cool. Obviously, it has, you know, the artwork from the comic book and the teaser poster. And what I love, too, which, you know, he didn't even have to do, but if you look, you know, on the side and on the top, like, it looks like, you know, it has, like, pages. Like, it's actually a book. Like, he literally could have just done the cover, but he actually went that little extra bit to actually make it look like a book. So I got one as a magnet and one as an ornament because it's Creepshow. So obviously I had to get more than one. And again, those are from Homemade Horror. His stuff usually, he's done so many amazing things. I would highly recommend following him on Facebook and on Instagram. So that's it for this pickups video. I just obviously a couple quick things. Well, I mean, two big things, depending on how you want to look at it. So just want to do this pickups video. And as always, let me know if you've gotten in anything recently. And for those of you who follow photography and who kind of like it when I do mention like photography and videography and stuff, if you have any questions about the 50mm lens, just let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.